Hi, everybody. I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's webinar. Our moderator is Ray Wong.
Hey, welcome everybody. And as everyone knows, AI has been around for a long time, but the main thing is it's back again. And of course, it's been the number one topic everywhere. And especially with generative AI taking all the spotlight at the moment, the question here to the panelists as well was really, what's really happening? What's changed? And really that perception.
AI has been around for about 20 plus years. Now with the rise of Gen AI, we see a rekindled interest and a lot of excitement from all types of companies across industries. What we currently see, though, is that, yes, there is a lot of expectations, sometimes unrealistic expectations. A lot of companies, I think they presume that there's going to be immediate ROI. And the reality is that a lot of the companies are in the early stages of AI adoption. They're trying some pilots, some POCs. I would say that they are going with some more of the simple use cases like bots, or kind of like, driving some automation when it comes to document intelligence. But overall, I think we're in the early stages of what, we'll see as a gradual adoption across AI.
And we're seeing more than just generative AI. People have been working on other parts of AI throughout, the years as well, with machine learning and other types of AI techniques. Ralph, what are you seeing? What are you guys looking at? What's hot for Symphony?
Certainly there is a hype. There is always a hype cycle. You can kind of compare this maybe to the internet hype cycle out there. And there'll be a stage at which people will say, oh, we shouldn't be so hyped about it. But that didn't mean that the internet didn't exist after that, right? It in fact blossomed and expanded. And I think what we are seeing is it has opened enterprises' eyes to AI. And then they are realizing to do AI, we need to do data and data plus AI. And then, suddenly the tires start kicking in on foundations that you need to build to have a production AI system running. And that's helping the whole data and AI ecosystem, including us as Symphony AI, where we work not just in the AI layer, but in the kind of data layer and in the AI layer through SaaS AI solutions.
But in time, I think the companies are realizing that the world is not just generative AI. And in fact, while we can get some benefits from generative AI, those benefits are somewhat limited. In order to really make the most out of AI capabilities, we need to think about combining generative AI with other types of AI, with predictive AI, with optimizing AI, with deciding AI. And there is a lot of benefit and a lot of value to be had in the space. So I'm personally very bullish about AI and about the value that it can bring to companies, but we have to think about it more holistically.
I think the core of this is that, when you look at ChatGPT or the large language models that are powering those applications, these are models trained on very large data sets like, web and, open source repositories out there. But when you apply it to an enterprise or a company, none of these models have access to all that data, right? So data is siloed. You don't have access to it. You cannot really train one model over all of that, right? Plus, generative AI models don't do very well when trained over tabular data either, right? Which is the point Daniela was making about predictive AI being important. So in that world, you suddenly say, oh, I cannot train one model over all my data. So what do I do, right? So, but it's the power of these models, though, is that you don't just use it as a trained model. You can use it to reason, and you can use it to connect dots across your enterprise. But to do that, you have to make your enterprise data and actions and other things available as APIs and tools, right? So that then goes to the point that, yes, there is all this enterprise data existing, but have you built the foundation at the data layer, at the API layer to make all of this available to a generative AI model to access as they require. And that's the key difference that everybody realizes versus the consumer applications where one model has been trained and it answers questions for you.
I agree with Raj 100% that the data layer needs to be in the right state for AI to really work. And on the Gen AI level, or the more traditional AI layer, what I think enterprises or companies need to pay attention is, although there is a lot of choice when it comes to Gen AI models, we need to pay attention to the ones that are scalable, they are secure, they provide the privacy that we all need. So the data that you ingest or that you integrate with it, it doesn't get shared or it doesn't get used to train any future AI models. And then the whole concept of responsible AI, which is basically kind of like a set of principles, and on the Microsoft's case, a set of tools to make sure that you safeguard the experience of how these models are built, how they're being customized, and how they're being used.
It's challenging to think about this question because POCs sometimes take a long time and oftentimes require some specific innovative work that goes along with what we have to do. So I think that it's really important to consider identifying a pathway from POC onto the actual scaling up of the small POC project. But part of that can be resolved at the beginning of the process of deciding whether to use AI in your company. And that means defining a clear objective and a clear strategy for achieving the objective. And defining clear objective means understanding what problem you are trying to solve. It also means understanding the stakeholders, the roles, the data, understanding the measure of success, understanding all the aspects of delivery that will go from idea, from problem, to a small POC and to an actual enterprise level solution.
If you're having to figure out a use case for a solution, that's a bad start on its own, right? So, at Symphony AI, we often say, we are working on these use cases and problems that have existed for years, sometimes decades, right? So the problem exists, its value exists. We can put a number on the value, and the POC we define would not be on this, right in the middle of a model training life cycle, just train it on a little bit of data and see that result. The POC would be defined as what is the outcome, right? So in our industrial vertical, for example, we'd say, predictive maintenance, right? You have to predict some, a maintenance issue or machine failing before it.
How long can I sweat it? How long can I sweat an asset, for example?
Right, and there is a KPI associated to it. Were you able to predict it before? How early? How much of a loss did I have because of that plant going down, etc.? And the POC would be designed for us. We have a product called Iris Foundry, which does a great job at it. The POC there are defined as, right from where the data ingestion starts, data coming in to a model, being trained or a pre-trained model shown running on it, to a result being shown reaching an email or someone's phone or pager, or Slack, whatever, showing that it happens, right? And within a week, we would try to run it as a boot camp, showing this end to end. So we've done a few things there. We haven't tried to create a problem. The problem exists. We've tried to show the entire life cycle of data ingestion to processing to model training to the model running and within a week's time. So I think with that kind of an approach, the customers would see the value of it much faster versus the other way of figuring out a problem for a solution and then figuring out the use cases around it.
The common thread across is that, we need significant human oversight. These AI models, as innovative, as effective as they are, they're not really autonomous. They need human oversight, they need fine-tuning, they need interventions. I agree that we need to employ them and start with low-risk use cases. Just to train and kind of like continue to customize things. And also the thing is we need to make sure that we are comfortable with the fact that they're not going to yield results immediately. It takes time to prepare the data sets, to do the model training and iterations that need to happen to provide value. So I would urge us to kind of take time moving from one step to the other, just to make sure that, we do the right thing.
You can't just be an AI expert who's learned the theory. You really need to understand your business. You need to understand the markets. You need to understand the products. And so it's very important to have people who understand both sides. Because if you're only trained on the business domain, then you don't know AI. And so it's difficult to understand what the possibilities are. If all you know is AI, you don't really know how AI can be useful. And so it's very important to have people who understand both sides. The other thing is, and so from where I sit with my day job, I see a lot of companies that are building programs to broadly educate the workforce. And this is very important because depending on what your role is in the organization, there are certain aspects about AI that are useful for you to know.
Let's say just one more thing there. This is my personal belief as well. Companies who are okay running agents in the background, not doing much, but just learning over time, the faster you adopt and just let the system run for a few years and all that, the more prepared you are for the future. So instead of being scared and slowly adopting, it's usually the opposite that you should do. I think the reality is no one in enterprise would want to share their data with anyone else, right? So I think what we try to do is, so first you have to ensure that no leakage happens in terms of data and all that, right? But then there is an element of, we have solutions which can learn over multiple clients' data without compromising individual privacy in a federated learning kind of an approach. So to and we have solutions like this in financial services space, and we have solutions like this in the retailer space as well. The important thing to realize is that there is significant learning to be had if magically we were to bring this data together, but you cannot. And so you have to go over that through a technical approach, and that will take time, right? We have some very early versions of that. But there is one success story I would say we have, which is very clearly true in our retail products and financial services product, is that they are pre-trained models we provide. So, just like ChatGPT is a pre-trained model, you'd go and run it. Many of our models are pre-trained.
I would say that it starts at the top. So you need to have the right sponsorship from the leadership side. So there needs to be a vision, a strategy around how we're integrating AI into all the initiatives and the business plans. Then I would say a lot of the work is at the data level. So if the data that you have is not of high quality, is not really accessible, is it not well managed, or is it not well labeled, then the AI, it doesn't matter how great the AI is on top, it will not work. And then I think I hinted it with a center of excellence. Cross-group collaboration is really key.
AI brings so much capability, has the potential to do so much for us. We can be more speedy. We can get new knowledge. We get insights. We get creativity. We get foresight. We get mastery. We get empathy. Yeah. We get so much from AI, and so I think of it as a way of giving us superpowers.